It's good to see everybody defining those travels. What's going on, all? Welcome, Arvanauts, and welcome, Speculate listeners, to a special joint Speculate podcast Twitch TV channel event as we bring you very proudly episode 3 of Blades in the Dark, the Cindered Seal. I am very excited to have this back on the channel again for the month of June. It's been a little bit of a busy couple of months, y'all. A couple of busy weeks going on here. I think there's some things happening in the world these days. That's the rumor anyway. And it's a great pleasure to have everyone with us as we are just about ready to go. Before I get started, I do want to remind everybody of a couple of things, and that is I want to remind everybody about ways to support us here. First of all, a way to support us on the Speculate podcast is to check us out at speculatesf.com. For those of you who may have been checking out the website, the site was down for a couple of days due to a confusion about malware on the hosting side of things. That has now been cleared up and fixed, and so Speculate is now back up and running. And thank you for those who are patient through that. For those of you who have jumped on board to support us at Speculate, we appreciate that because we do have a Patreon, Speculate SF/Patreon. We'll put the link up to that as well, which you'll be able to see in chat. We had a couple more people jump on board to support us over the last few weeks, which is great, and we hope you'll continue to do that because we are proud of this show and we're proud of the real play games that we're able to actual play games that we're able to bring you, and the cast and crew and the amazing people that we've got that we bring along with you. And so if you're able to support us there, we would appreciate it. As far as the Twitch channel is concerned, that is also something that I appreciate the support of for sure. And you folks know the way to do that. The website for this is arvaneleron.com. Exclamation point arvcord is the Discord channel. Exclamation point arvtube is the YouTube channel. You can sub over there and see past broadcasts of this and other streams. Exclamation point arvtweets is my Twitter. And all of that is very helpful. On the financial side, exclamation point arvtreon for the Patreon, which really helps with with putting stuff back into the channel, including tech stuff, and also trying to be able to pay my voice team and doing other things of that nature. And then exclamation point arv shop is my merchandise area, which has Infinity and Beyond stuff for my main D&D campaign, Curse of Strahd campaign. And then, of course, Adventures of Middle-earth, which is going to be continuing on Tuesday. That also is in there, and hopefully we'll have some Genesis stuff there as well. And then, of course, that sub button right above the video window, so you too, like Mrs. Dunsel, can use these awesome custom emotes and sub badges. And again, you can also get inspirations for the players in this and other campaigns as well. Last thing I want to mention on that side is the publishing stuff. Exclamation point Icarus is my Icarus and Jelenic graphic novels coming out late June, early July. Very, very excited about how the art is looking for that. So you can pre-order it there, and we'd appreciate it if you would, because that will definitely help the publisher, Athos Arts, as they figure out orders and all that kind of thing. Exclamation point library is Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library, my 5th edition D&D adventure and source book. That's already out in PDF on DriveThruRPG, but it is coming out in print soon. And so again, exclamation point library for that. And exclamation point Greyshade KS is my Greyshade Kickstarter. More details about that as the pandemic, I hope, slows down and begins to allow people to open up in some places safely, not crazily, but actually safely. And last but certainly not least, exclamation point BLM for details and resources about Black Lives Matter. There'll be some more discussion of that, I have no doubt, tonight with the folks in the crew, in the Blades in the Dark crew that you're about to see. But I wanted to mention that as well. With all of that said, I am now going to unmute myself and apologize profusely for anyone I'm interrupting because I can't hear them, but they can hear me, so sorry. And then I am going to unmute them.
He doesn't care.
And do that. I do, I care so much. And then I'm going to go over to, and then I'm going to switch right over to all of this amazing crew, which is here. And you see before you this lovely, lovely crew of people, which I am very excited to have back with us. I'm going to hand things back over to Mike, except I'm going to say that at the end of the show today, at the end of the session, there will be a special announcement made by one Mr. Brandon O'Brien. And if you want to know what that is, you are going to have to hang on because you will not want to miss this announcement. It is an announcement that is worth waiting for, he said. And having been as vague as I could conceivably be and not actually say anything, I'm going to hand things back over. Have a wonderful session, everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to welcome my co-host, Mike Underwood, into the stream. Mike, ball's in your court.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speculate, the Case of the Cindered Seal, a Blades in the Dark actual play miniseries GM'd by the fabulous Brandon O'Brien. I'm your host, Michael Underwood. I'm going to be one of the players as well. This is our third episode of this miniseries, and I hope everyone has been keeping up on the audio side or watching the VODs. It's been great to have a community live with us on Twitch. So thanks very much to Greg for hosting it here. It's been a great partnership so far. And now I'm going to throw to Brandon to reintroduce the game and then reintro our players, and then we'll have some fun.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Before we get into introductions, I feel like it's absolutely important to say one very significant thing. 2020 has been a lot. We can all attest to that. It's been a very emotionally taxing year for us all. And in the last 2 weeks, we've seen some of the most fervent and most intense and most committed protest actions and demonstrations taking place all over the world in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. Where I live in Trinidad and Tobago, we've been having demonstrations. All of the players in this campaign have witnessed demonstrations taking place near them. Right now is a moment that cannot be ignored. And I think that it's absolutely important as a result to say that in this campaign and on this channel, Black Lives Matter, and all of the work that we do, not only in this game or on this channel, but all of the work that we do in public is in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement and with movements of liberation everywhere in the world. If you type exclamation point BLM in the chat right now, you'll be able to find a link with all sorts of available resources that you can go to lend your financial support, lend your physical support. It's absolutely important that you do so. We don't want this to lose steam. I highly doubt that it will, but it absolutely requires your engagement in that space to contribute in any way that you can. And as a result, I'm really glad to see that even though this is happening from a place of pain, that it's happening with the energy that it's happening with right now. And with that being said, I'm glad to be here as an Afro-Caribbean man. I'm glad to be sharing space with cool people who I like and trust and who like and trust me. And now we're going to beat up some cops. So with that, I'm going to start asking my players to introduce themselves, beginning with Mike Underwood.
Sure thing. So I'm Michael R. Underwood. I'm a co-host on Speculate. I'm an author, podcaster, and publishing professional. My next book is a found family space opera adventure called Annihilation Aria, which I'm really excited to get out of the world. It's gotten some great reviews so far, including some lovely words of support from trusted writer friends, which has been really great. I am playing Ring Dalmore, who is a Akarosi spider, who is an ex-military kind of sergeant veteran of the war turned kind of neighborhood helper slash what if a gang was one person looking out for a neighborhood? And fortunately, now they have some friends, and that's me.
Thank you. Jeoi.
Hello, I am Jeoi Gawain, pronouns they, them, or he, him. General ghosty miscreant and all that other kind of stuff. I am playing Crossroads, a creature who is totally made out of meat and who totally is not weaponized anxiety and totally has not killed an authority figure already on this show. Yes.
Well, I mean, that cop deserved it. Next, Iori.
I'm Iori Kusano, Clarion West 2017, fiction in Apex, nonfiction in Uncanny and Strange Horizons. I also co-host the only English language Kamen Rider podcast, Righteous Kicks, with Brandon here, where we talk about men in spandex fighting fascism. And today I am playing Ashlyn Farros, who has definitely lived in Duskfall her whole life.
as I should also mention, as that podcast was mentioned, that the pin that I'm wearing right now, which I highly doubt that anyone can see, is a pin of Kamen Rider Ichigo, and the text around that pin reads, "This rider kicks fascists," because we're also against fascism, obviously. Um, to reintroduce myself, my name is Brandon O'Brien. I will be your GM this evening. I'm a writer, a poet, performance poet, teaching artist. I am also the poetry editor of Fire, a magazine of Black speculative fiction, which I'm definitely shouting out this evening for obvious reasons. And I would love it a lot if you would support Fire's work and Fire's mission um, as we continue to survive 2020. And with that, we should get into session 3.
With that, wait, I think we skipped Valerie's introduction.
Valerie needs to be introed.
Oh no, I forgot Valerie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we forgot Skelly. Skelly who eats all my food.
I'm sorry. That's my fault.
I am Valerie Valdes. I am playing Skelly, who eats all of Crossroads food. I'm the author of Chilling Effect and forthcoming Prime Deceptions, which both space opera and both family, very anti-authoritarian, and here to remind you that punching Nazis is a Paragon interrupt, no matter what uniform they are wearing.
Yes. Thank you for that. And now that everybody has finally successfully been introduced, I apologize again. We should get into session 3 of the case of the Cindered Seal, which, as we last left off, begins with Skelly and Crossroads discovering themselves at the bottom of a very deep dark hole, within which is a trove of information, very curiously about the history of cults in Duskfall, the history of cult objects in the area, and this weird drawing on this chalkboard all the way to the edge of the room that only one of the two of them knows or can infer the meaning of, while Crossroads on the other side of the room has just opened a particularly complicated letter. I believe that we should reopen exactly from that moment, perhaps.
But Crossroads is already so stressed.
This is unfortunate, but yes.
Yes, so I am pulling up the letter.
Yes, the letter is in roll 20. I made sure to literally retype it verbatim.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many windows. Okay. I have the letter. So from last session, it was found in a velvet envelope in the secret room. It reads, "Dear blankety blank 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 blank. None of this should have ever been my business, but since it is my business now, it might as well be someone else's. I don't think I can do this anymore on my own. I need someone else to continue this work when the cultists finally come for me. And it should only be you. I think that after everything we've been through, you kind of deserve it at this point. I'm sorry it had to be me to give this to you, but I couldn't trust it with anybody else. When this work is done, you can do whatever else you want with this room, but until it's done, please make sure they do not win. I'm sorry, Runa." Crossroads didn't like that.
Yes. When last Crossroads read that, they were having a lot of feelings.
They were having way too many feelings, and that was horrible.
Have any of those feelings subsided? And if not, has Skelly noticed this yet?
Skelly's staring up at that giant weird map with all of the different stuff on it and going, what is happening?
How
Um,
long has it been? Because technically speaking, we left Crossroads like sobbing over this letter for about a month before coming back. So
no, you have not. You have not been. You have not been crying for 3 weeks. I'm going to say that it's about 15ish minutes have passed since the ending of that episode.
Okay, I would have noticed. Crying
okay.
before that.
But are you still crying?
Yeah, because I'm made of meat. And
Yeah.
things made of meat cry.
This is normal.
Mhm.
I'm doing a great job at it. Oohoo, oohoo, oohoo.
Okay.
I'm definitely awkwardly patting Crossroads in the back area.
That's a noise that crying things make when they're made of meat.
Yes,
Mhm.
it sure is. They are so upset.
Do you endeavor to do anything else?
I'm not equipped to handle feelings as a general rule, and so unfortunately, yeah, it's like, wait, how did I always used to do feeling stuff? See, hey, want to see something weird?
Crossroads looks around at Skelly.
Come check out this map over here.
Crossroads gets up and shambles over very sadly to the map.
So, for context, what are we looking at exactly?
Okay, so there's according to the description previously, so there's just multi-layered maps of there's Dunslow, Brightstone, Crowsfoot, the docks, Six Towers, blueprints, material studies of major landmarks. It's just like a giant wall of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and as well as a chalk sketch of the seal's imprint, which I believe is the same thing that I had on the paper that I'd
Yes,
gotten.
it is.
So yeah. And so that I will get the paper out and I'll say, hey, I found this in your room. Check it out.
So Crossroads looks at the paper, and I think it was 100 by 100 grid, and with like squigglies inside it, and then around the edges of the grid it says, "What does the lady see?" or something like that.
On the blackboard drawing around the same box reads the text, "What is the lady trying to say?"
Oh.
It does not say that on the piece of paper. The piece of paper just has those squigglies.
Do I recognize the handwriting around the that
Um,
says, "What is the lady trying to say?" Is that Runa's handwriting?
You've never seen Runa try to write in bold on like anything bigger than a sheet of paper. So this looks much messier than you're accustomed to. But you have no reason to assume that it wouldn't have been Runa's.
So Crossroads looks at the paper and then looks at the board and then goes, "Uh-huh. That's funny."
I mean, I thought it was more weird than funny, but cool. I'm glad you stopped crying.
Oh. Yeah. I do that. You probably do that too.
Nah, crying sucks. Are you do you like want to talk about anything or
I'm okay.
Oh good. Okay, so you should do something. Skelly's really excited to not have to talk about feelings. This is awesome.
Oh, okay.
Okay, duly noted. Literally taking physical note of that. Skelly avoids feelings. How do we push those buttons further? Okay, continue.
So Crossroads thought that Skelly was about to interrogate it about being made of meat. and is relieved also that Skelly is changing the conversation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Should our meat parts be tired at this point? Like, is it time to sleep?
I mean, it's quite late in the evening. All of you have been quite busy for the entire like mid-afternoon to evening up until this point. So it's fair to say that you are both like that this is a fine time to sleep at least.
All right. Like, this is all really weird. We should get Ring in here or something. Maybe we should sleep on it.
Would you like to take another look around the room, Skelly?
Sure.
Crossroads is also going to look around the room to see if maybe there's a generator that it can sleep by.
Okay.
Skylar's
I
looking for a
think-
bed.
I think both of those roles would be survey as a result.
Alright.
They both should be controlled and standard to me.
Survey, controlled, standard. Oop. No bonus dice.
So Crossroads rolled a 2.
Well, Skylar's ready to go
And
sleep.
Skelly rolls a 5. So Skelly, you unfortunately notice that there is no bed in this room.
Oh man.
There are lots of there are like 2 wooden chairs and a metal chair, and you get the impression that whoever previously occupied this room found ways to make themselves comfortable in those chairs. But there is no bed, there is no cot, there is no sleeping bag.
I've slept on the floor.
I mean, I figured that's a thing that you would possibly consider doing.
Yes. Sucks though. Bed would have been nice.
So I will say that you, at least, you can sense what stacks of papers and what books are most comfortable to rest your head on, if that's a thing that matters to you. But other than that, all there is the floor.
All right.
Crossroads, you do not see a charging apparatus of any sort.
I don't see anything machiney at all.
You see a lot of machiney things.
Oh.
None of them immediately strike you as a generator.
Crossroads
Because
does
you
not
rolled
like
a
that.
2. You shouldn't like that.
I only have 2 drain. It's fine.
Fair enough. So I guess the question then becomes, would you like to sleep here?
Well, Crossroads looks over at Skelly, who I guess is getting comfortable.
Yeah, Skelly has made a little nest of papers.
It's just a little...
Yeah.
Crossroads actually has never thought about faking sleeping before because this has never happened before. So it's going to lie right down on the floor, I guess, and yeah, just like that.
So, like an obvious question that should emerge as a result, I think, is, if you are not recharging, are you sleeping? Like, do you have a method by which you can actually like turn your brain off?
It does not say in the playbook that I can go into sleep mode. It just says it runs on ectoplasm. I can recharge my capacitors by connecting to an industrial grade generator as a downtime action. When I do this, I can clear 5 drain.
Okay. Okay, so I guess again this question comes to you then. Do you sleep? Do you like, or are you just like fully conscious
I
all
am
the time?
I am fully conscious all the time and hating it.
Hmm, that's unfortunate.
That's
That's a
why
mood.
that's why Crossroads is so stressed constantly because it's just forcibly awake all the time in a world that stresses it out. So
Oh, this is
Fair enough.
terrible. Oh,
Understood.
gosh.
Hashtag
Um,
relatable.
hashtag relatable, made of meat.
mm, exclamation point crossroads in the chat.
Mhm. Press exclamation point to pay respects.
So with that, I'm going to say that Skelly definitely sleeps and Crossroads sleeps. And night passes and we emerge into day. And I think then now we need to ask a question about how we re-meet because technically where you are is closest to um
Ring, right? I think because we're on the docks,
yes.
basically. Yeah.
Yes, you're closest to Ring, so you can meet Ring before Ring leaves home. Um, or you can hope that Ring sees you emerge from a deep dark hole in the docks.
Well, have we figured out how to get out yet? Because I don't think we did.
No,
Um,
we fell down a hole.
Yeah.
you
So,
I'm pretty sure you did learn as you looked around last session that there is a ladder going all the way up,
okay.
a very, very long ladder going all the way up, but I want you to search again.
Okay.
The two of us or just Skelly?
Either way,
This is survey, right? It's controlled? Because we're not.
I will say controlled and yes, controlled and standard.
Crossroads will look around again. Maybe this time charge machine. Nope. Even
Wow. Crossroads rolled a 1.
Crossroads got lost in the room.
So Crossroads looks around and the previously fully established ladder going all the way up has totally disappeared from view. Meanwhile, Skelly has observed what looks like um, those like old school access elevators that you had to like pull a shutter door down with a yeah. You find one of those. It looks like it's in absolutely terrible shape. This room has been in so much disuse. There are cobwebs on the cobwebs, and you're pretty sure there are still live insects squirming within said cobwebs.
insects.
So yeah, the fastest way up looks like it's going to rattle a lot and shake a lot of insects away. How do you feel about this?
Do I also know where the ladder is, or?
The ladder is like on the other end of the room. It's just like now that it's well, you're in a deep dark hole, but the lights naturally come on during the day and are just a little bit weirdly less blue and more yellowish. So you can see that the wall that the ladder is on is entirely straight all the way up.
Okay.
So you can just keep climbing for as long as that takes you to climb it. So it looks like it will take quite a ways. Or you can take said elevator.
Hey, Crossroads.
Mm.
There's an elevator over here, but it looks kind of scuzzy. You want to take the ladder, or do you want to take the elevator?
Do humans like ladders or do humans like elevators? This is the primary drive for Crossroads decision making because primary drive 1 is staying made of meat. So question to the GM: Do
Mhm.
meat creatures in this universe like ladders more than elevators?
I am inclined to say Crossroads is the most interesting. Like making decisions regarding Crossroads are the most interesting things that have come up in this entire game. I am inclined to say that you should roll to discover how you feel about ladders.
Oh no. Okay,
Ooh.
so
Fortune
Okay,
roll,
so-
fortune roll, fortune roll.
Is there a skill for this? In fact, no. Yes. Give me a fortune roll 2 dice.
How do I roll fortune again?
There should
I'm
be
trying
a
to
fortune button
find.
in your
Yeah, it's on the sheet. If you look
on your character sheet. There should be a
Yeah.
fortune
Yeah.
button underneath your skills.
Oh, I see it. Roll fortune. Da-da! Oh, number of
Yes.
dice?
2 dice.
2 dice. Submit. Notes? No
Uh,
notes.
Put in the notes. How do I feel about ladders?
How? No. That's not how Crossroads would think it. Crossroads would think,
how does
how
meat feel about ladders?
feel? You got it about ladders.
Mm-hmm.
Submit. It feels Wait.
It feels ambivalent about ladders.
If meat feels ambivalent about ladders.
So yeah, you feel 50-50, I guess.
Crossroads looks at Skelly and says, I feel ambivalent about ladders.
Does the elevator look like it would fit both of us at once?
Oh yeah, the elevator is perfectly wide. It looks like it could fit quite a few. It looks like it was. It looks like that was the elevator of choice precisely to move in some of the heavy equipment and larger stacks of books that are presently in this room.
All right, then
So it can hold quite a few people and quite a bit of weight. Or it looks like it could have held quite a bit of weight in its prime.
So yeah, in the interest of what do I as a player think is going to be hilarious, and it's going to be the elevator. So I'm checking out the bug situation. Is there any kind of like nearby paper that I can use to try to just like clear a few out? Just a quick like get rid of some cobwebs kind of thing.
You can see like there is like an idle broom on
good.
one
I'll
side of
grab
the
that.
room, like some
Yeah,
If you wanted to do a big quick sweep
yeah, very
with
quick.
a very badly bristled broom, you can do that.
Awesome. That's what I'm doing.
You can literally hear like cicadas and caterpillars shuffle
Oh, nice.
against the bristles of this broom.
I feel like I'm dragging sprites out.
Crossroads hears all this insect life and suddenly feels kind of guilty for some reason. Doesn't really think about that too much. Let's ignore that.
Press F to pay respects for crickets.
All right, let's get in here. Come on. We gotta go find Ring.
Yeah. Okay. Crossroads follow Skelly.
Close the door. Operate the elevator. What happens?
The elevator rattles a bit. Does not move. Rattles a little bit more and then starts going up.
Has Crossroads ever been in an elevator?
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, hell.
In fact, I am going to answer that question. I'm going to say no. Access elevators like these are very rare, and better elevators than these don't exist yet. So you haven't been in many elevators. Most people haven't.
Okay. Can I roll a tune to panic?
You can. Yes, please. I mean, if you're panicking, I'm going to say that this is risky. And I'm going to say your effect is limited. Yeah, I'm going to say your effect is limited.
Okay.
Please don't destroy this.
Bonus dice? No bonus dice.
No bonus dice.
Panic. Well, of course, now is when I get good dice.
Yikes! 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 Yikes!
R.I.P. in
Crossroads roll
peace,
a 5.
Skelly.
Oh,
You know what?
so
You know what? I'm. Yikes! 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 Yikes!
Yikes!
Um,
Yikes!
Skelly's
there
just
is
whistling, not paying attention at all.
there is a spike of electricity that travels from the tip of your beak to the roof of the elevator.
Yikes!
Nothing happens, and then you start moving very perceptibly faster than you were moving before. Like the
Whoa.
elevator is like slightly hurtling upwards.
Slightly
Um,
hurtling upwards.
They're like, whoa. What the
Um,
hell?
Also, you get a flash of the vision that you had previously again. The
The vision.
the smoke in that vision is less white and just a little more bluish than it was the first time, but you
Oh.
have it far briefer than you had the last vision.
Oh. Crossroads totally has eyes, and they totally widen.
You hear the gaze of like two like apertures very loudly shift.
Camera eyes of panic.
Yep.
Uh,
As a result of this rapid shift in speed as a result of extra electroplasm traveling through this elevator, you are now outside. Well, the elevator has now come to a stop, and the door of the elevator reveals like a small series of steps leading out of someone's grave.
well, this is weird.
It is.
Is it weird? Crossroads.
Crossroads doesn't know. Crossroads is trying to fish for a reaction from Skelly so it can calibrate accordingly.
Skelly's thinking about it now because Skelly's like, yeah, no, this is still weird. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's weird. Yes, it's weird.
So for the sake of brevity, I should ask, Ring, are you passing nearby or are you still at home when this happens?
I think if I have an idea of kind of where Ring would be and kind of how to connect that I can just jump into. And Brandon, feel free to like veto or pivot that to something else, because I think we would see Ring in their apartment with like probably 4 or 5 pretty burly people all talking over breakfast. And it's basically the like daily stand-up for the 4 people of like a docking, like a labor crew, like stevedores and such, like moving boxes on and off ships. And they're basically just doing the, okay, what do you need? What are you up to today? Like what's been going on? Like who's being trouble? Okay, you can send them to me, tomorrow. And we kind of see them in the thing that actually pays for their living, which is kind of being a kind of a union rep / like second tier crew man, like a team manager, basically, for this whatever docking company. And when that's over, like they kind of take all the dishes and kind of shoot people off to their day. And then we see Ring basically starting to do rounds in the neighborhood, checking in on people, and are probably while they're doing that is when they would be walking close enough for Skelly or Crossroads to see them, or for Skelly to be able to come and find them in their neighborhood.
Okay. I like this. So I'm going to ask, just for context, you do not see either of them stepping out of someone's grave, do you?
That seems likely. I think it's probably
okay.
one or the other of them turns a corner. Or like Skelly turns a corner and sees Ring like chatting with like probably a rather old Akarosi like smoking on the corner, kind of just talking about like who he's seen coming and going in the day, and there you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a nice place to start. You like sitting on this corner having a pleasant conversation with this elderly Akarosi. And as you're all talking, you see Skelly and Crossroads like out of the corner of your eye as they get closer to you.
Yeah. And I think at that, Ring would kind of hail the elder and say, "Oh, thank you for your time. I'm gonna go check in with some friends. Take care of yourself."
Yeah, definitely.
And then go to kind of meet Skelly and Crossroads without much fanfare, just in terms of trying to stay under the radar.
Oh yeah, you did have that devil's bargain last time, and the clock started counting down.
Yeah, so we have a little bit. There's a bit of ruckus, right?
Oh yeah, that's still moving, by the way. I'm just gonna let you know.
Sure, yeah, that's how clocks go, right?
Yes. So.
Except for the one that Crossroads put a fist through. That one is not.
Wait, so that's what you do with clocks in Forged in the Dark games. Brilliant.
So, what would you all like to do now that the three of you are together?
Crossroads stands awkwardly behind Skelly.
Skelly's like, "Hey man, you gotta see this. Not man, obviously, but you know what I mean. Come on." And we'll drag Ring towards the place the place from which we emerged. Actually, no. Can we get back into the elevator?
Nope.
Okay.
The only way down is through the hole by the statue.
First, I would have taken Ring back to the elevator, and then once I realized that it was gone, I'd have been like, "Well, that sucks," and then I would have taken them to.
Are you going to do the whole thing again?
Apparently. Is there a crow? Is there a Death Speaker crow there?
There are a couple of Death Seeker crows about on some of the tombstones in the cemetery, but none of them have settled on the statue yet.
On Ledge Crossroads, in their very meaty side. Hey, do the crow thing. Do the crow thing again.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Crossroads gets food, which is totally dried meat, just like it. No, kind of, and goes to try and entice a Death Seeker crow down to make a large hole, maybe.
Does Ring want to know what the hell we're doing right now? Because for the record, it occurs to me as the player that you probably could just like pull down on the thing and it doesn't actually require a crow. However, I feel like Skelly would just be like, we need to do the same thing again.
Fair enough.
Is this a food thing?
I don't know. Just the crow opened it last time.
I will point out that the plate is not out yet, so you still have to press the button.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So then the button first.
Okay, yeah.
We would have pressed the button first, and then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you see this very flashy, ornate process of two, like, gray hands coming out of the statue and forming a plate right in front of the statue. And you start to see Death Seeker crows start gathering around the statue, all looking very judgingly at Crossroads.
That's bad usually.
No.
It's just weird.
It's weird?
Yeah, this is definitely weird, yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Is there a body down there?
No body.
Actually, Ring would probably wouldn't know that down there is like, is there a body somewhere? Would be what they should have said.
Crossroads would still say no.
Skelly's prevaricating because Skelly's not sure. Like, I didn't find one yet.
Crossroads puts the food in the plate.
Okay. You hear a rumbling. Is anyone going to move?
I'm gonna get Ring and pull them closer.
Oh no. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna be like, say we.
Like it's entirely possible that there's like a ladder that we could find if like somebody had a lantern, because there's like a lantern on the item sheet.
No, Skelly's ready for the ride again.
Let's all fall, and I'm
All
sure
right.
everything will be fine.
Sorry.
As that's happening, Skelly, I would like you to look around.
Oh,
I would
good.
like
Okay.
you to give me yet another survey roll, if possible, unless you think that something else would be more suitable.
No. I just definitely.
I'm going to say that roll is controlled.
All right.
But yeah, controlled and standard, yes.
Okay. Any bonus? Nope.
I'm going to give you one bonus die.
Oh. Secret.
Whee! 3. Right. So the hole opens up and you are all hurtling down this tunnel. Skelly, you notice just as your eye line has dipped like almost like just like an inch above the earth, you notice that you can see something that goes click and pops upward from the grave that you took the elevator from. And you can only presume as a result that the elevator triggered and was waiting for you, but you're already in the hole.
Womp womp.
Ring, you experienced what they experienced the last time, falling in a hole for several minutes.
I think after screaming for a little while, they start like screaming becomes yelling, becomes like confounded shouting. Like, what in the broken suns is this like ludicrous city going on about?
Just go with it.
Crossroads flapping and flopping and bouncing, kind of like 5 strips of bacon held up in a wind tunnel because it's made of meat, and doing great on this journey down.
Skelly was more prepared and so is adopting a more aerodynamic approach and possibly going faster.
Crossroads doesn't panic this time. It almost did, but it didn't.
Good job.
Okay.
That's growth.
So you eventually land in this hole. Ring, you have now witnessed everything that they have witnessed. The traumatic tumbling into this hole in this cemetery, only to reveal a bat cave full of encyclopedias and maps and books and papers, and this weird square drawing with some squigglies in it on this blackboard in the all the way across the room.
I smack Ring on the shoulder and go, "Hey, that was weird, right?"
Yeah, we should have gotten Ash.
Oh, yeah.
Are you prepared to do this all over again?
I mean,
I'll be like, the elevator's over there. Can I guess go get her?
Wait. Why didn't we take the elevator?
Oh.
It's horrible. Crossroads does not elaborate. It was just horrible.
It's like, it's just not good. There's no response.
How did you find this to begin with?
The crows.
There were crows.
I guess that's an answer.
We're both just staring at Ring like, obviously, and Ring is like.
So I think like,
Ring is like, you two would suck in the army.
I think Ring would kind of probably do a cursory study or survey.
Roll really high so you can find a generator.
I'm going to frame it as survey because this is incredibly weird and I don't have time to pore over all of this. So I just need to figure out what it is now.
I'll do an assist.
Okay.
I'll give a very brief but a not productive guided tour.
Right. That counts as an assist, I think.
It's like, so weird drawings over there, weird maps over there, elevators over there, like that kind of tour.
So a survey with 1 bonus die.
Okay. Is this
Stands exactly where
position or a
it
fortune
lands.
roll?
It does nothing.
And I do 2 stress, right?
1 stress to assist.
1 stress.
Yeah, 1 stress. I would say that it's a survey roll. I will say that it's controlled, and I'd say that the effect is limited because you are aware right now that this is all kind of distracting because you have a mission to achieve today. Both of you have already made. Everyone has already made decisions that they're going to visit one of the 2 addresses that were previously noticed, and you just want to get back to that. So you just want to get the briefest lowdown of this room, knowing very well that you will probably learn more about it later.
Right. All right, so that's limited. 1 bonus die from assist. And that's a 4, so partial success.
Right. So you learn where things are. You have not yet grasped what anything means yet, in part because Skelly hasn't gone over the square with the squigglies on the blackboard yet, and in part because this is a lot of books and papers, and you have no time to talk about history right now when you should get going.
Does Skelly or Crossroads bring up the letter? Okay.
Crossroads didn't tell Skelly about the letter.
Okay.
Crossroads doesn't tell Ring about the letter. Crossroads just stands exactly where it is and is made of meat.
Where is the letter right now, Crossroads? Is it on your person or did you leave it
It's
around?
on my body.
Okay.
Meat body.
It's on my meaty body.
It is in your jacket that is a top skin of meat. Cool.
This is ludicrous. This shouldn't be here. We have to be most of a mile underground. We should be in the ocean.
Could be the ocean. I don't know.
Who made this?
Crossroads starts to sweat.
Does it?
How has no one else found it?
Crossroads starts to sweat more.
Maybe Ash will know more. Can we take the elevator back up? I can send someone to go and send someone to ask Ash to come by for tea, and then we can keep moving forward on figuring out whatever the hell this place is, or going to one of those addresses. Like, this is just a whole something else.
One thing. Breakfast.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's go.
Crossroads sweats more at hearing breakfast. Follows everyone into the elevator that it has now learned about and it hates.
Okay. So, just to know the plan, are you going to get Ash and go right back down this hole immediately, or are you going to do work first?
Could you give us a quick refresher on where those 2 addresses were?
Right. So on one of the 2 cards that Ash had on their person, you discovered an address in Dunslow and an address in Brightstone, and had endeavored to check out at least one of them in the morning.
And let's see.
So Brightstone is the one that's closer, I think.
Right, and is Ash's store in Brightstone?
No, it's a little ways away.
Yes.
Okay, if Ash's store is in the same district as the docks, then maybe Ring would just have the group go to Ash's store.
It is down by the docks just for like ease of freight transit.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I think go. And what kind of take and go breakfast would we get along the way? Yeah, like fried mushrooms in a sauce or something.
Oh no, it's liquid.
Mushroom empanadas.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. I need that. So yeah, so you pick up mushroom empanadas on the way to. I imagine that between Skelly and Crossroads, you buy a great deal of them.
Crossroads. Crossroads is around 6 feet tall with the hat on. Who is closest to its size?
Skelly.
Skelly? Okay. So Crossroads would be judging its meat appetite by how much Skelly gets.
I feel like Crossroads knows Skelly well enough to be like, I will get half of what Skelly gets. At maybe a quarter.
Okay, a quarter of what Skelly gets.
Or
and
half, and then Skelly's like, you can eat all that.
Crossroads has learned to say no when Skelly asks this, but for appearance's sake, eats the mushroom empanadas whole until Skelly asks this question. So Ring, you just see it go like, oh.
Okay. Right.
Skelly too. Pretty much the same thing.
There's a brief moment where Crossroads like kind of slaps its throat a little bit because the empanada gets wedged in the feeding tube, so it's like.
Would you notice? Okay,
Because I would notice when I start putting another empanada in and it hits the bottom of the other one. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Pelican and the fish is trying to come back out. Like, no, Pelican.
Oh.
Saw the fish.
Yeah. So Crossroads is doing great at eating.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it would be if it had been eating all its life, which it definitely has been. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say as a result that you very quickly get to Ash's place. Even though you're taking your time, it's really not that much of a walk. Plus, you're all like very eagerly distracted, not only by the act of eating, but by the act of watching Crossroads eat. And you arrive at Ash's store. Ash, are you awake?
Yeah, the store's already open. Like, Ash is an early riser, but she is not a morning person. So she's awake, but she does not like it.
Mm-hmm.
The lodger is also awake because Ash has gone into the day with the intention that she knows we're either going to Dunslow or Brightstone. She's let her lodger know that they're in charge of the shop for today, which is why the lodger is currently over at the till haggling with an old lady about a vase, and Ash is just doing some cleaning and decorating before the team turns up. So when they walk in, she's full on wrestling with one of the window mannequins because she is trying extremely hard to change its clothes, and it's just not cooperating.
Crossroads sees Ash changing clothes on a thing that's not alive and has feelings.
Okay.
Ash would Ring know Ash well enough to be able to like present some kind of breakfast thing that would be well met?
If you guys turned up without an empanada for her, she'd be a little miffed. So,
okay. So I think Ring holds up 2 bags. fried eel bites or empanada.
Eel bites, absolutely eel bites. And she's still trying to get like this blouse onto the mannequin, and there's no give in the fabric. There just wasn't anything vaguely elastic in it, so she's having trouble with the mannequin's elbow. The hat falls off the mannequin. She picks it up. Crossroads is much too tall for her to place the hat on its head, so she just kind of smacks this weird little fascinator onto Crossroads' shoulder and goes, "Hold that."
Oh.
Okay.
Crossroads holds it.
This guy's like, "Hey, you want a hand?" and whips out a knife.
No, the elbow will unscrew, I guess. I think that's going to be the fastest way to handle this. You don't need the knife.
Okay. Puts it away.
This is even more complicated than putting clothes on toddlers.
Crossroads puts the hat on its hat and goes over and can I help with the clothes thing?
Very quickly, while all of that is happening, Ash, can you give me a fortune roll? 1 die.
Yes. Where did the fortune button go?
It's really pale. Like it's very gray.
It's
Hard to
underneath all
see.
the skills.
Yeah.
Below the friends
Yeah.
tab.
Yeah. Underneath deadly friends.
There you go.
Yeah.
1 die, you said?
1 die. Notes, noise.
Okay.
Yin.
Ooh.
That's a 5.
5. Okay, I'm going to say, you notice that the old lady buying the vase, seems mildly peeved about something, but you can't hear what they are saying from where you are.
Well, the customer is never right, so this isn't actually a problem. And Ash finally finishes unscrewing the forearm of this mannequin, and she just hands that to Crossroads.
Crossroads takes it and feels very almost panicky, but not quite yet. But it's getting there.
Okay.
The blouse is on the mannequin, it's getting buttoned up, and then Ash shoves the sleeve up so that she can take the arm back and screw it back in place.
Does the arm vaguely look like Crossroads' model of arm, maybe? Or is it just a straight up mannequin?
It's like very mannequin where there's no articulation in any joint. The hand is frozen in kind of a weird mudra-like position. It's very much one of the kind of creepy blank mannequins you see in the department store. None of the personality or charm or character of Crossroads.
Okay. While all of this is happening, does anyone want to have any conversations about anything that has happened since?
Crossroads is wearing 2 hats. It's thinking about that right now.
Sally's waiting for the customer to leave before she says anything. So.
Okay. Ash, can you give me another fortune roll?
This is getting exciting. And that was a 4.
Okay. You hear like a very minor outburst, but you don't actually hear what the customer says. And then she like puts a fistful of coins down on the table, and leaves.
Crossroads would be like an outburst that makes it nervous. Does its sensorium pick up anything peculiar about this?
You can pick up from the old lady all of the like physical signs that would imply that somebody is very frustrated by something. You can also sense from the lodger who is now at the cash register lots and lots of anxiety as they turn to look at Ash with this very confused look on their face.
Oh. Crossroads knows that feeling. Crossroads says, uh-oh.
Ash notices that her lodger is anxious and she just yells, "You know, we get cranks in here all the time. Don't worry about it."
Do you say that in accuracy or?
Yes, of course.
Okay, duly noted.
Crossroads worries about it anyway.
So
Gonna eat those. I'm looking at the eel bites now.
So
I
now,
didn't get any eel bites.
so now you're the only people in the room. So if you would like to do the thing, you are free to do the thing.
I mean, it's still us and the lodger running the till, so maybe let's do the thing elsewhere.
nice morning. Want to take a walk?
Yeah, let's do that.
It's not a nice
Crossroads is
morning.
still wearing 2 hats.
Ash has completely forgotten
You
that
know-
she's put that second hat onto Crossroads.
You know what?
Yes.
I like fortune rolls.
Oh no.
Ring, give me 2 dice, please.
Is it a nice day?
Yeah, no. It is not a beautiful day
I
in
mean-
the neighborhood.
I mean, in this world, all you've ever known in the context of a nice day is that overcast is the best that you can hope for.
Is it not raining?
It is. That is a 1 and a 2 on that fortune roll.
The moment you say that, it begins to rain cats and dogs outside.
Ah. Scully
Luckily-
puts her hood up.
Luckily, I will say that for convenience, I will point out that Ash already has a very sturdy raincoat and prepares umbrellas nearby specifically for guests.
It's not that she prepared them so much as there's an umbrella stand by the door, and a lot of customers over the years have maybe walked out without theirs because the rain stopped. So it's really developed into kind of a take an umbrella, leave an umbrella stand.
Yep, fair enough.
Crossroads has never used an umbrella in its life.
Ring takes one that is long enough and has a crook, so it's good to be a weapon.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Crossroads doesn't know what an umbrella is.
Fair enough.
So it stands there.
Scully's like, hey, get an umbrella.
Crossroads
Also,
says okay and then doesn't do anything.
I would like to note that in addition to the part where Ash has kind of gotten distracted from having given Crossroads the hat, now that Crossroad is double hatting, she's like 5 foot and Crossroads is like 6 foot. So while they're standing near each other, she can't see where that hat went.
Oh. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what kind of hat is this hat? Because it's sitting on top of a tricorn hat right now.
A terrible tiny pillbox fascinator with like netting, feathers, couple sequins in there.
Okay. Crossroads doesn't understand fashion, so it's just there now.
I have no idea how it's settling there, but I'll
It's
take
probably
it.
wedged into one of the tricorn folds or something.
Fair enough.
Crossroads is one good social role away from becoming a fashion icon.
Oh no! No, that would be the worst. Okay, Crossroads stands there and doesn't do anything.
So I think
Yep.
Ring-
So
Ring would kind of give the very quick breakdown of like, there's a massive hole and then a weird building super deep underground with a bunch of like conspiracy board maps and weird symbols, and Crossroads and Skelly found it yesterday, and I'm not sure if that takes precedence over going to one of those sites on the card.
Is this us outside? Because the person at the till is still there.
Yeah,
No,
I
yeah.
think this is
Yeah.
outside with the rain. If the rain is coming down, then we have lots of cover.
Okay,
audio-wise.
well, Crossroads is out there without an umbrella then.
Oh yeah.
Skelly does not have an umbrella either. Skelly just has a hood.
For convenience, I'm gonna say that Ring's umbrella is big enough for two, so Skelly's end of that one.
Oh no, like Skelly just put her hood up and she doesn't care.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah,
Ring
fair
extends it over Crossroads, thinking that they're just not kind of that they've been absent-minded.
Yes, just enough that there is still like a
it's like
slant
Totoro
of rain that is hitting just like the front of those two hats.
Totoro's ear is like it's like that. The fascinator is just at the edge of the umbrella.
So I will also say, for convenience's sake, that in that breakdown, you have definitely heard that most of the books and papers in that bat cave are also dedicated to cults and their objects. Like a great majority of them are.
Ring would pass that on and be like, not really my area. I figured it might be something you'd be able to make more sense out of than I could. But
I'm certainly happy to look at it.
it's a question of whether it makes sense to go to Dunslow, Brightstone, one of those places first while it's still morning, or whether we should try and make sense out of the whatever that is.
Well, no one else knows how to get into your little secret base, do they?
Look at
The
Crossroads.
birds know.
Then I think we can assume for the time being that that's staying put.
Birds move.
Birds indeed move.
Ash has never really paid very much attention to the Death Seeker crows. Like, she cannot tell them apart. And she very vaguely regards birds as just like infinite. There will be more birds.
It's a renewable resource, birds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you say there will be more birds?
Yes.
Yes, I agree. Crossroads likes Ash now.
So I guess that brings up the question, do we go slum it even more, or do we pretend like we belong?
I
That being
belong,
Dunslow
says
or-
Crossroads really loudly.
That being Dunslow or Brightstone.
The Dunslow address faded off the card, and the Brightstone one replaced it. Which one of these do we think is going to be more likely to have a nasty surprise for us?
Right. Before we ask the people who would know that to show how they would know that, I will point out that you did recover both the Dunslow and the Brightstone addresses, so you know where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, where you are right now is closest to Brightstone, so you can get to that location like in a half an hour's walk. As for the question, I will ask Ring to roll something for me, because you definitely would have access to this information, but how?
Which information, sorry?
You were asked which one of the two locations is most likely to be imminently hostile.
Sure. I'm going to roll that as a consort based on kind of the accumulation of hearing from people throughout the city, in terms of being a person who knows people.
Oh, okay.
So like maybe that's a flashback to a conversation in a bar, some like 3 or 4 days ago, talking with somebody who was doing labor in Brightstone, and saying, "Oh yeah, like we were doing a job for some rich old family, center of Brightstone, something something something," and then I'll roll and we'll see how the fiction follows. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. For which I will say as a result, if it does operate as a flashback, that it's 0 stress, and I will make the roll standard limited, but I will give you an extra die because it came up with the Akarosi fellow that you were talking to before breakfast.
So that is risky, limited, 1 bonus die.
Standard limited, 1 die, 1 extra die.
Sorry, do you mean controlled?
Yeah, controlled, limited, 1 bonus die.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, can I trade? Like, I want to do a Blades thing. Can I trade position for effect in saying that this rain is kind of pulling at the Edge of Rings kind of sight, because the last time we saw them in the rain, we saw them flashing back to the war.
We can definitely do that.
Okay.
So that would make it risky controlled?
So risky, would that be risky standard?
I mean, yes. Risky
which I think is the thing you get on tattooed on your knuckles if you're Blades Die Hard, is risky standard.
Can you get
risky standard, 1 bonus die. Let's play. Yeah, that's
Risk Stan.
Okay.
Oh my.
That's a 5 and a 6. You really succeeded over there. So,
now we're playing Blades.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will say as a result that this is the culmination of like months to a year of the kinds of rumors that people have about these places. Because Brightstone is an otherwise upstanding, very positively viewed part of Dustfall. It's one of those districts where even when bad things happen when it's either really dark or as a result of things that you'd imagine are the consequences for crossing high society. Meanwhile, Dunslow is a place where people go and disappear. Crime is a regular occurrence there, at least as far as rumors go. There are a handful of gangs that are regularly scuffling in that area, like regardless of what time of the day it is or whether even blue coats are around to stop them. So chances are that is the kind of place that if somebody wanted to make a mess, they would have. You get the impression that address would have been on the card precisely so. If you had taken so long that you had to see that address, you were definitely going to get to this place, be ambushed, be beaten to death, and they would have taken everything that you had.
Oh no, thanks Crossroads, who is not in this revelation at all.
I think like maybe we see that as like almost an Edgar Wright quick cut sequence of conversations, with like Ring mostly kind of stone-faced, talking with like a succession of different strange Duskwall characters, and then popping back to the kind of the current scene, and just like a very muted version of the type of rain from the war, and Ring will kind of stop and steady themselves just a little bit, almost subconsciously, on Skelly's shoulder, and then kind of put themselves back together and say, if we go to Brightstone, it's harder to hide something nasty. Dunslow is where people go to disappear or get disappeared. Plus,
Yep.
it's just down the street. All we have to do is get past some guards without too many questions.
My
Crossroads
vote
starts to
is
sweat.
all.
Sorry.
Crossroads starts to sweat.
My vote
Noted.
is always for the place where we're not going to die today.
I mean, you can
Crossroads starts to sweat more.
Brightstone has better food, but it's really expensive.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I will just point out to Ash,
Hey,
just as an
We
aside,
just ate.
it's least likely for you to die in Brightstone, but it's definitely not impossible. So yeah, it's just a matter of magnitude. So yeah.
Let's see. So
Also, again, Brightstone is right there.
right. Is the kind of fictional difficulty of moving a group of 4 people from the docks to Brightstone something that would necessitate a roll?
I would say no.
Okay.
I will say that the rain notwithstanding, it is perfectly possible for you all to just take a walk, hire a coach if a coach were available. No coaches are available, it's raining. Or find some other means to arrive there, and you'll be able to get there before it turned afternoon.
Yeah, I think unless anyone has another approach, maybe we just go and cut to whatever.
While that's happening, I will ask, like literally while Ring is talking, I would like Ring to make a roll for me. As you notice something like strange out of the periphery to your left as you continue walking.
Okay. As earlier, I think survey is described as the kind of quick response version, so that makes sense for their action.
Okay. And I will say that it is controlled, limited, because it's raining.
Yep. And no bonus dice?
No bonus dice.
Okay. 1 die. It's a 2.
It's a 2. You turn in the direction of the thing that you see, and you actually see another one of your deceased colleagues in the war, who's just like staring at you.
I think because this is dramatic and we're telling a story, they kind of go motionless like a statue, and a gust of wind picks up and pulls the umbrella out of their hand as they're kind of struck by this vision.
Crossroads looks, and then Crossroads looks at what Ring is looking at. Does Crossroads see anything?
Crossroads sees a very stern looking heavily built man looking very intensely at all of you. And when he notices that you, Crossroads, are looking at him, he seems to get angrier and then leaves.
Does my sensorium pick up anything about this guy?
You sense something between rage and determination. You get the impression based on what you're reading from the sensorium that he came here for you. this is the point where I let you know as a courtesy that remember there was a clock that we were trying to determine how long it would take for other people around the docks to be looking for crossroads. That clock is full.
Oh, SpaghettiOs.
Yes. So
So
that is
when
a
we
person who
say,
was.
go ahead.
Oh, so I will just say that for the purposes of your game knowledge, that person is someone that Crossroads you sense has been looking for you and is about to let other people know that they found you.
Oh no.
Oh,
would
So
you
when
do
we
this?
say looking for you, we are definitely meaning looking for you, Crossroads, in the singular, not you, plurals.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, they just need Crossroads, but I'm sure they'll have a lot of questions as to why you're also involved with Crossroads business.
Because they're a perfectly nice person made of meat who needs some help.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. So Crossroads' first instinct would be to chase this person.
Are you sure? Okay.
Because they immediately think if someone's looking for them for it's to snitch to everybody that it's not made of meat. And so this person clearly knows it's not made of meat. And Runa said Crossroads has to keep anyone from knowing that it's not made of meat. So
Okay.
Crossroads is thinking, I need to get this person and then crickets them.
Okay. Okay. I imagine that requires a roll. What role do you think that would be?
I really wish that there was just something that said panic. So what would I roll to chase after this person?
I think, like in the general wider context, you're not close enough to this person for it to be a skirmish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, so I'm just gonna point out that you literally are friends with a hunter. Just gonna say maybe you would ask Skelly to do it. I don't know if you're panicking too much, but
I mean, I'm not sure if Skelly or Ash have noticed yet.
no,
So-
I don't think Skelly noticed. That's why I'm saying it would have to be, does Crossroads have the presence of mind to be like, oh, my friend here can figure
You
out where this
would-
person went.
Crossroads has had the presence of mind to literally grate out a very strangled and panicked no before chasing after this person.
Yeah. So then at that point, Skelly would just start chasing Crossroads. That would be, and be like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Ash had noticed that Ring had kind of gone distracted and shell-shocked. But now her attention is very much on the fact that Crossroads and Skelly have just taken off running. So she looks back at Ring and she's like, we have to follow them, I think. The responsible thing to do is probably to follow them. Is Ring
Okay.
even hearing her, or are they too dissociated to register?
I would expect that like some level of emotional urgency in Ash's voice would probably be enough. But Brandon, I leave that to you in terms of determining the weight of a consequence.
Oh yeah, definitely. In terms of that, I would say that somewhere in the midst of everyone running, like they have long since kind of, if that makes sense, rubbed away the after image of this vision from your brain, and now you just see Crossroads running and everyone running
I
after
mean,
it.
Skelly
I
might
think-
also, like, as soon as Skelly sees Crossroads, like, she was standing next to Ring, so she might be like, hey, and like whack them and then take off, kind of like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
Yeah, I think
I'm picturing this as the full Scooby-Doo run.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
And
so
yeah.
so here's the interesting thing because of the context of this decision, right?
Uh-huh.
Crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
Here is what I think based on the actions. I think you're going to roll wreck with uh with risky standard.
Okay.
And I think everyone who is following is rolling prowl with the same position and effect, but with I'm going to give you both one bonus die because at least you know who you're following.
not Hunt.
There's one bonus die.
So when you say wreck, is this the
Not
act of
hunt.
chasing the person?
Yes, the act of chasing
Okay.
the act of chasing the person, and your roll will also tell me how close you get to this person and what
Okay.
happens next.
Okay, so you said risky standard?
Yes. So
And you said one bonus die because we at least know who we're following.
yes.
And
So,
I don't get any bonus dice.
You do not get any bonus dice.
Unless I push myself or accept a bargain.
Do you want to accept the devil's bargain?
Ooh.
Well, you see, Crossroads really wants to crickets this person. So
So I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say yes. What would the bargain be?
I will say that there's a part of you that knows, but that part is pure meat and very distant from your brain. But that part of you knows. If you get in a fight with someone who is looking for you, then the consequences of that fight will always be negative. Because if you kill this person, people will come to kill you. And if you do not kill this person will know exactly where you went. Those are what you have to accept one of those two consequences as soon as this takes place.
Yeah, Crossroads is like, I need to crickets this person. I will deal with the consequences of cricketsing them later. I already cricket somebody. It's crickets all the way down.
Okay.
This is Panic Crossroads.
Oh yeah, no.
Not Panicking Crossroads will be really angry about this later.
Right, so that definitely gives you one extra die. What are the consequences of that? Right, okay, cool. So Ash rolled a 5.
Oh.
Did a thing
Jeoi.
happen there? Jeoi,
I
did a
rolled
thing?
1.
Okay.
But I thought I had another die. How come I only have 1?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what happened there because I don't think you rolled that skill. Because you were supposed to roll wreck, and I'm not seeing an actual action there at all.
Oh. Should I roll again?
Yes, I will let you roll again. You're rolling wreck.
Yeah, risky, standard.
Yes, +1 die.
+1 die.
Yeah, it only gives you 1 die. Is it because you have no dots in wreck, maybe, or?
Yeah, I have no dots in wreck.
Oh, right, that makes sense. Okay, cool. So, everything that I'm seeing here is Ash rolled a 5 with prowl. Skelly rolled a 4 with prowl. Ring rolled a 6 with prowl, and accepting this latest roll, Crossroads rolled a 6 with wreck. So here are all of the things that happen.
Oh no.
In a line that's like seems to suddenly invert because Skelly would have been the first person to actually take off. but in a matter of pace, suddenly the line immediately behind Crossroads becomes Ring, and then Ash, and then Skelly.
It's the military training kicking in.
Yep.
And like you're all very eagerly focused on whatever direction Crossroads is going in, like having no vague sense except for Ring, what they're even looking at that point. And that's when all of you, Ring in particular, see Crossroads descend on this very large man and swing once so solidly in the nose that you hear a resounding crack from the back of his head, and his head kind of bounces back in this really unrealistic way that tells Ring very confidently something between the neck and the spine is definitely broken from that one blow.
Okay. Who's around?
Everyone is behind you.
No, like
Other
cities.
Other than us.
Yeah.
Other than that, in this space, it's really just
It's raining.
the only
right?
person that you can see outside is all of you and this guy.
What's the rain doing for overall visibility? Like, how clearly did our team just see Crossroads get its most unrighteous murders on?
Um,
I was going to electrocute him.
the person
Something
who saw,
else.
the person who saw the very least was Skelly, but Skelly still saw, and all of you heard because that was a very mighty blow to the face.
Like,
That was
from
like,
Ash's
imagine-
perspective, this looks terrifying because she did not see what provoked Crossroads. So all she saw was Crossroads suddenly bolt and then just wail on this unsuspecting person.
You
Yeah.
got wrapped. Is it?
Yeah. It very
Maybe-
obviously looks and sounds to you all like it had the pressure of, instead being punched in the face, somebody like took a coin mint quality iron press to the forehead. What's everybody's reaction to this?
Have I arrived yet? I don't want to go first since I'm last in line. So
Oh no, like
kinda
you're all still like, all of you are very roughly within arm's length of each other.
okay.
Who was that?
Ash stops. Like, it takes her a couple steps to kind of stagger to a stop, but she is alarmed. Like, once when she was little, she saw somebody get thrown from a horse and the guy's neck made that noise. So she knows that that was just an unholy amount of damage that Crossroads just inflicted on this guy.
Crossroads looks down at the body, and does the guy fall in a body-like position that Runa's body was in?
Right. So this guy who is like bleeding from one nostril and one ear from the blow of this punch is like obviously dazed and very seriously concussed, but he doesn't actually hit the ground. He's still actually stammering. He's actually staggering back up.
Okay,
Kelly's gonna attack. I'm sorry. No, this is it. Like, that's no. If Crossroads has punched this person, then this person needs punching. And
the
this
person
is what happened.
Yeah. If the person didn't go down, Crossroads is going to like literally put its hands on him and attempt to crickets the guy. So
Okay, give me another wreck.
another wreck.
Yes,
but
another wreck.
Wreck, not attune.
No, yeah, give me wreck.
I've watched enough Pokemon to know that water conducts electricity. What is the relative? I'm just saying, is this going to become an area of effect thing because of all the rain?
Electroplasm is a. You know what? Yes, give me wreck and then give me the wreck and then give me the attune.
Okay, so
you're giving me the same. You're giving me the same. You're giving me the same risky standard roll plus one die. Your bonus die for this rec roll is the momentum of wanting to crickets this man.
Okay, the momentum of crickets. Oh,
What's that?
it's another 6.
Another 6.
Yes.
You grab this man by the collars of his shirt and
then
headbutt him.
Oh no, it's my beaky face.
And to like the physical sensorium of your beakhead, it feels like you didn't even pass through anything solid at all.
Oh wow.
That's how hard you've hit him and how soft his head has already become. As that happens, give me an attune. With a bonus die.
Okay. What's
make controlled great.
all right?
One bonus die.
One bonus die.
664.
Oh my god! I think I just woke the baby.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I shouldn't have yelled. I wanted to yell though.
Crossroads. In fact, no. This scene is for everybody. You know, in
This is a crit for those listening.
in
664. Oh my gosh.
in Star Wars Episode 8, the scene when the flash of light that emerges in the scene when Admiral Holdo flies through a Star Destroyer.
That's such a good
You make that
stuff.
flash of light in the middle of the rain. This, what used to be a man, turned into bright white right in front of you. He doesn't even burst into chunks. He is just incandescent in front of you. The force and light of that strike sends everyone else back. Like literally launching into the air at least 1 foot.
Is it making
still
a
made
noise?
of meat, I swear.
If it did make a noise, you didn't hear it. It definitely made a noise. It made like 2 sonic booms worth of noise. You didn't hear it. In fact, everybody give me a fortune roll.
Yeah, I was about to ask how dazed we are.
Everybody give me a fortune roll, 1 die.
Okay.
In fact, no.
Or is this
Mike,
a resistance roll?
is it a resistance roll?
I mean, it's the like on a crit.
I mean,
should a bad
yes.
thing happen? Maybe not.
I mean,
It's actually mechanically a resistance roll, yes.
yeah, because Crossroads just basically flashbanged us all at close range, right?
Yes. So you are in fact resisting. So I think the attribute that obviously applies here is should be prowess. Yes. So you will give me a prowess resistance roll.
Would that be me
1
as well?
die.
Everybody gets 1 die except for Mike, who gets 2.
We all rolled pretty good.
Oh, thank God, 6.
So I think Blades is one of the ones where if you crit a resistance roll, you lose a stress, right?
Yeah, so I think we all critted, thankfully, except for Crossroads.
Right, that's good. So, except for Crossroads, who experiences 2 drain as a result of everything that just happened.
Okay, so right now I'm at 4 drain.
Okay.
Um,
Everybody else rolled 6s, so they don't suffer any actual like physical
my
consequences.
goodness.
Asha's not suffering a physical consequence, but her brain is already going, oh God, is there going to be a body? Are we going to have to hide the body? How are we going to hide the body? Like, she's already starting to try and work through how much cover-up is going to be needed because, like, she was with this team. She's an accomplice now. Oh no.
Skelly's just quietly putting her knife back away because it's no longer necessary.
Yep.
I mean, by putting your knife away, you mean you are like very confusedly like looking down on the ground at the knife that is still in your hand and very putting it away. Mike, I will say for narrative purposes, this very obviously reminds you of several moments in the war, but you don't have like as visceral a response to it as you would have. So you bounce back from that fairly decently, but like you're still like knocked on the ground.
Yeah, I think maybe part of the explanation for why Ring is okay with this is that they actually watched a whisper, like a war whisper, just go to town on an enemy unit.
Yeah.
Oh no, Ring knows what I am, which is made of meat.
And so I think they would kind of pick themselves up and say, 1, we have to get off the street. 2, you didn't tell us you were a whisper.
As you are looking at Crossroads and this happens, because I didn't say what happened to Crossroads yet.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Crossroads, the flash of light disappears from your eyes, and all there is ash, rain, and the faint strips of 2 like white pieces of color cloth in your hands.
And
your hooded jacket is just ash and flames, and everyone can see your how.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Ash
shit.
looks at the little pile of ash on the ground and she's just like, okay, at least there's no body to hide. Let's get off the street.
At least there's no body, yes. How does everyone feel?
Crossroads is torn between having to murder everybody now. Because it's not supposed to let anyone know it's not made of meat.
And
so
Ash
what
pulls
is
her
what
coat
is
off and she tries to put it on.
no, okay, so when I see Ash do that, I'm like, hold on, and I take my coat off, which will fit Crossroads.
Because the size difference means that Ash's coat is extremely not going to be useful in this situation.
Yeah, no. I have a big hooded coat. Like that's so although now I'm very moist. But that's it's like a shower. I don't take those often, so it's cool. I was due.
Crossroads experiences getting clothes put on it and calms down, but is confused. So Skelly, you see its shoulders like kind of ratchet up, and maybe you start hearing the initial like crackles of panic happening, and then the panic goes away.
Okay. I think at this point, Skelly has heard Ring say we need to get off the street. I'm going to do a survey to try to get us a route back to the store, but unobtrusely. No, you know what? Let's
looks at Ring.
No, let's go to the statue.
Anywhere around here,
because we're still not in Brightstone, correct? We're still basically.
We were like on the edge of it, weren't we?
Yeah, you are at the edge of Brightstone.
Oh, okay.
The edge of Brightstone on the docks means that you can easily go in either direction and get there like within minutes.
Okay, I'll be like, Ring, we should get back to the statue, I think. That's safer right now.
Yes.
Okay, so survey to try to get us a quick and unobtrusive route.
Okay, I will say risky limited.
Okay.
Because both Rain and being dazed by the very shocking electroplasmic murder of a man.
Yeah, I want to use one of my uses of foresight.
Okay.
Which says 2 times per score you can assist a teammate without spending stress. Tell us how you prepared for this. Ring was paying very close attention to which streets were and weren't flooding as everybody was coming this way. So they're able to say, "Oh, not that street is flooded."
Okay, so you know the path.
Yeah. So I'm going to give a +1d.
Okay. Right, so you
So-
get 1 bonus die.
Also, I'd like to interject that I like to think Ring was like, 2, you never told us that you were a whisperer, and then looks over and, oh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's how I imagined that.
Womp womp.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, so
gear
sir-
wise,
yeah.
Ring already lost their umbrella. I'm betting Ash lost hers when she got flashbanged off her feet by Crossroads, and Skelly's out a coat.
Yeah.
And everything in Crossroads was wearing was destroyed.
I still have a bag of empanadas inside my box.
Oh, thank God.
Noted.
Listen, that's important.
I don't actually say this, but when we eventually get to a place, Crossroads will give out apology empanadas.
Okay. So we are finding a path. Let me
All
see
right,
that
ready?
roll.
And
5. Okay. I'm gonna say it like it's very easy. In fact, I'm going to say that you find a shortcut that saves you like 5 minutes of walking time in the rain. Back to the statue. Ash is still not actually witness to the statue business, so I guess you should determine whether you want to do the statue business or whether we're just
Alright.
moving forward.
this time we'll use the elevator.
We're all
because,
already
yeah.
soaking wet. Honestly, like being shot down a slide underground would not even be the most uncomfortable experience of the day.
Would that be an air dry?
I was gonna say in some ways it'd be like an air dry, right? Like
Probably not. Probably not.
I would like to see Ash get a bug dropped on her in the elevator. That's my
Okay. So for ease, we will say that you triggered the elevator instead of falling down a deep dark hole. You find your way moving down into this tunnel. Ash, what are your feelings about finding an elevator in the cemetery?
She's actually more weirded out by the elevator than she is by the insects, because like nomadic horse people, she's very used to insects being absolutely everywhere just because of how much time she's had to spend outdoors as a child. And also stuff lives in antiques. She's definitely had the experience of like crowbarring a crate open and whoops, there's a scorpion in there with everything else. So the idea of the elevator is actually freaking her out a lot more, because like, okay, this is a thing that somehow somebody managed to build without anybody noticing, and now it's going to take me underground.
and now there's 4 of us in this elevator instead of just 2, so it's a little more crowded. And also, is everyone trying to step away from Crossroads or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very important question.
No.
How does everybody feel about Crossroads?
Skelly
And
is
how
trying
does
to hold the
Crossroads
coat on.
feel? Because there is enough space for y'all to decide that you're going to like all be distant from each other roughly. But yeah.
No social distancing in this elevator.
Oh God. So you finally find yourself in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody has witnessed the pile of books and papers, the weird drawing on the chalkboard all the way to the other side of the room, and you've all witnessed a man be baked.
Under
There-
better circumstances, Ash would be like appraising everything she saw. under these circumstances, she's looking at Crossroads and going, I hope you had a really good reason for exploding that man.
As that conversation is happening, Skelly, you notice now that you are like in a completely different, separate space and time has passed, that on your chest, it would seem as if something leather or leathery has literally been like heat pressed stuck to your shirt.
What is it?
You look down and you take it off, and
Okay.
it's a wallet.
Oh. Wow.
When the man burst into light, his wallet jettisoned from his clothing and stuck to you. Mm-hmm.
I look for
Tear
cash.
it off, and it still has like threads of your shirt and stuff stuck to it as you peel it off. You find you find like the equivalent like $60 in coins.
Nice. That'll buy some empanadas.
You find a note that is written in Severosi.
I don't speak Severosi.
You know that it looks like Severosi, but you don't speak
No.
it.
I'm like, I don't know this language.
Mhm. And you find a union card. You know what union card it looks like. It looks like a Blue Coats union card.
Son of a bitch.
And that's where we're going to end. So much of this game was spent falling down a hole, and then a man got nuked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crossroads is definitely going to try and blame Ring for that.
What the hell? I'm definitely in our next session, I'm going to like manufacture circumstances that lead to me asking you very obviously, Crossroads, how do you feel about nuking a cop? You just pleasantly electrocuted one, and then the other one turned into a whole light bulb. How do you feel about this? So yes.
Oh.
ACAB,
Pretty
all cops are
positive.
bright.
I think at this point, okay, so in all of my other campaigns, I have a character-specific stat that I note down. So in one of my D&D campaigns, I play a magpie kenku, and the stat that I track for that is how many eyeballs it eats.
Okay.
Currently the count is at 61, and I'm also, because I was the first character to die in that campaign entirely by accident. I'm also tracking how many times I die. So far, it's still one. But
Okay.
in the second D&D thing that I played, which was Waterdeep, I tracked how many bowls of raw meat that I ate because I was playing a Barnaul Aarakocra. And so, just for flavor, I told the DM, so the only thing I can eat is raw meat. And I will specify when I eat a bowl of raw meat. So I
Duly
guess for
noted.
this one, it's how many blue coats I fry.
Oh yeah. Now that you've given us a number, now we're actually aiming to like meet that record. 61
Yes.
cops.
61.
cops.
Yes.
Got it.
We may need
This
to
feels
extend
like,
this
yeah.
miniseries.
This is gonna
Mhm.
culminate. No.
Oh, no.
There's gonna be a group activity at some point. That's
Oh
what's gonna happen.
yeah. We could stage an ambush during an attune.
We just
It'll
have a
happen.
Blues Brothers ambush at the end.
Yes, exactly.
100 cop pile up.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Listen, all we need is remember, this is not Crossroads final form.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So the cops have 99 problems and Crossroads is all of them.
Yes.
Yes.
It would seem.
Cool. Should
So,
we
yeah.
do XP?
We definitely should, because a lot of things have happened.
A lot of things have happened. Yep.
I
Ooh,
haven't
lovely.
given anyone any desperates this game, have I?
No.
This session, yes. So then we're just doing the regular thingies. So we should obviously start, I imagine, with Crossroads.
Uh-huh. I fulfilled my functions despite difficulty or danger. I nuked a human in the spirit of not being revealed as not being made of meat.
But folks know
The
you're not a
masquerade has not
Haldau.
been broken.
Yeah, folks know you're a Haldau. I'll give you one because your intention was to fulfill your function. Even though you were under threat, I will give you 1 XP. You suppressed or ignored your former human beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. As with most games, I will give you 1 XP for that.
Thank you.
You struggled with issues from your wear during the session.
Yeah, I had a question about that because currently I have 4 drain, and so I don't know at what point I would start taking wear. Is that after I've filled every single tab in the drain bar, and then it starts going into wear?
So wear, if I recall correctly, operates the exact same as what
Trauma?
characters who have meat would consider trauma, which is a thing that happens after you experience maximum stress. So because you
Okay.
haven't experienced maximum drain, you do not suffer wear yet. So
Okay.
that does not come into play. So you've gotten 2 XP.
Yep.
Next, Skelly. You address that challenge with tracking or violence.
Yes.
I
Yes.
will say following crossroads counts. Well, no, not only following crossroads, but finding a path back. So I will give you 2 XP for that. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
You did pull out a knife. Your belief is you should stab dangerous things.
That was certainly my intention. But didn't quite make it there though, so.
I don't think you made it there, unfortunately. And you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. Does not come into play, I think. So that's all your XP. Ash and Ferros. You address the challenge with stealth or evasion. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case.
No.
You
really
expressed
haven't
your
seen Ash kind of do her playbook stuff so much yet.
Yes, I look forward to the point when that finally happens. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. That hasn't happened yet, but I'm curious what you'll be able to do now that you're in the Bat Cave. So I'm curious to see what happens next session. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. Unfortunately, I don't think that comes into play as well. And Ring.
My playbook XP trigger is you addressed a challenge with calculations or conspiracy. I would say 1 for the kind of Edgar Wright sequence in terms of accumulated kind of conspiring conversations to know where to send us.
Yeah, that counts as 1. That looks like 1 to me. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. We re-entered flashback territory, so that definitely counts as, I want to say 1. I guess that there is room to negotiate for 2, but I think that 1 makes sense here.
Yeah, I think some combination of the let's establish everyday life, kind of being really tapped into kind of local accuracy activity, and or kind of the other labor stuff might count for 1 across the group. And then I would say 1 struggle with trauma, with issues from trauma.
All right, because your trauma is haunted.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, that
which
fills my
fills out your
playbook
playbook
XP.
advancement, which
I'll
means
have
you
to-
can take a
Nice.
special ability. I will
Oh.
give you the opportunity to think about that and make that decision when we meet again. So I'm going to make a note that you have to tell me a special ability.
Yep.
Cool. So I'm perfectly fine to reveal that in our next session. So with that, I think that we've had a very good time in our third session of the case of the Cindered Seal. We fell down a hole, got back up out of the hole, fell down the hole again, came back up out of the hole, nuked a guy, and then fell back, but this time down the elevator. So I'm very excited to see what happens in session 4. So I guess the only thing that we need to do again is ask everyone to introduce themselves and plug their work, starting with Mike.
Sure. I'm Michael R. Underwood. I co-host Speculate with Greg, who hosts the Twitch here at twitch.tv/ArvinElleron. I have a bunch of books out. If you like the kind of weird fantasy bits of Duskwall and the game that we've shown so far, you might like my new weird superhero novel called Shield and Crocus, which is very action-adventure-y. And then I have a found family space opera called Annihilation Aria, which is coming on July 21st in ebook, paperback, and in audio. That's me.
Okay. Next, Jeoi.
Hello. I am still reeling at the fact that my character vaporized a dude. So yeah, Jeoi Going Lin, player of people vaporizers, I guess.
No work to plug, anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
Okay, fair enough. Next, Iori.
Iori Kusano, Clarion West 2017, fiction in Apex, nonfiction in Uncanny and Strange Horizons, and I co-host the podcast Righteous Kicks with Brandon.
And Valerie.
I'm Valerie Valdes, author of Chilling Effect and Prime Deceptions, both space operas. Prime Deceptions coming in September. I also have a poem out in the most recent issue of Uncanny magazine.
A poem that is rad, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Brandon O'Brien, poet, writer, teaching artist. I'm the poetry editor of Fire magazine, of Black speculative fiction, which it has an issue coming out very soon, and is working very eagerly on its next upcoming issue, which I'm very excited for, the Jeoi issue. An opportunity for us to actually experience some Black joy in the midst of all of this Black pain. So I would like it a lot if you would lend your support to firelitmag.com. Please, whenever you get the chance, make a subscription, take a 1-year subscription, buy any of our back issues, read some very beautiful work from some very outstanding Black science fiction and fantasy writers and poets. And with that, I think all that is left is for us to summon Greg back into our space, if Greg is available.
I might be available, but you
Hey,
are
look.
you are missing an announcement, which was pointed out, a secret announcement. So we said that we were going to wait. And first of all, excellent job, everyone, today. And thank you again for being on the channel. And then secondly, we teased this a little bit just before the show began by talking a little bit about this secret, super secret announcement, which now it can be told. So Brandon, you'd like to explain?
I would like, because I wanted you to be here when I made this announcement.
Yay.
So, Greg has asked me very nicely if I'd want to run another game on this channel. And I was like, yeah, definitely, of course, because I like this community. It's nice. I trust Greg a lot. I would love very much to be in this space as much as possible. So, starting sometime in mid-August, we are planning very much to have an all POC cast for an as yet unnamed mini-series set in the game world of a game that I am designing called Sound Clash, which is a game of music and magic and sticking it to the man, where you form a band in a world where all music now has magical properties, and try to get yourself a record deal, prove yourself as one of the best bands in your area by competing in sound clashes with rival bands, and then realize that the industry is probably kind of sucky. And how do you feel about that? Um, I definitely know as a result that I want it to be as punk as possible, because I want the way that it interacts with the world and the industry to also be a way that we talk about the way that art clashes with fascism and the police state, because that's something that we need to have more conversations about right now, the way that art has the power to be radical. And we will announce more about the cast and the first session of that game very soon, but I'm very eager to actually do that thing. So check us out in mid-August as we get really punk.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Exactly, Trish. Every concept I was like, yes, yep, I got it. Right. Sounds good. Right. I'm like, as a member of a 15-year prog rock band, looking forward to bashing the industry and the police. I was like, everything about this is tremendous. Like he pitched, he's like, well, what about this thing with this element and this thing? I'm like, and I could have also cake with ice cream plus more cake and more ice cream. Like, what is wrong? So yeah, I'm super, super excited for this. And and I do want to point out, this is going to be an all person of color cast, which was also important, especially in the light of what's going on at the moment. And I specifically was enjoying so much having a chance to see Blades play out on this channel that I was like, I continue to look for more content, and I was continuing to look more of that particular kind of content too. And I was like, Brandon seems like the guy to talk about. So I'm very excited, and I'm grateful that he is bringing, and that was the other thing too, when he's like, well, I could bring you a game I'm designing. I'm like, where do I sign? So this is great. So I'm super excited to have it on the channel. And thank you, Brandon, for entrusting the channel with your work. I appreciate that.
Thank you for asking me. I'm really excited that you're excited, because for one thing, I'll just mention as an aside that Blades is literally the rules backbone of the game. So if you want to see more people make fortune rolls to decide how big things explode, those things are definitely going to happen. But I'm also just really excited to live playtest this game that I've been sitting on for so long here, as opposed to anywhere else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited to see what that looks like in August.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I am honored, and yeah, I want some ability in that game to be like power chord or just anything that please, like, causes maximum destruction with
takes ego notes.
I want it. But anyway,
is the you count as a small gang rule just one person band?
The smallest of gangs, you mean?
Duets counts as small gangs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when you've arrived at most punk, is when you're like, I don't need anybody else. That's when you've arrived at the most possible punk. Anyway, it's great. I'm excited about this, and I can't wait. And yes, so mid-August is what we're looking for launching it, but we'll talk more about that as time goes on. But you will also see these lovely people here next month with us here on the channel. And I should say, you will also, for the Speculate listeners and for my Twitch folks, at the end of the month, you will see us switching up a little bit in different roles with Mike as GM and myself, Dongwan, Joyce Chung, and Marie Bilodeau playing our first episode, not session 0, but session 1 this time, of a Star Wars Scum and Villainy, where I basically get to play the Mandalorian. So I'm just slightly excited about that. Just a little, just a titch. Anyway, but I'm very excited about that for more of this stuff. And, oh God, Red Lear's... So we just got a 61-person raid from the incredibly generous Red Lear. Okay, see, Red Lear, you are awesome. First of all, I should say Red Lear is an awesome dude who is great and raised me all the time. Thank you so much, Red Lear, for the whole, although these folks are just wrapping up, but it means you're just in time to hear the great announcement that, again, Brandon O'Brien is going to be doing a new game of his own, testing it essentially on our channel in August with an all-person of color cast, and I am super excited for all of it, so that's going to be happening. So for those of you who are coming in, for the raiders who are coming here, I will redirect this raid to a deserving place, but in the meantime, you should follow all the wonderful authors that you see on the screen right now. You should follow all all of the things that they do, and game designers, I should say, authors and game designers and developers. You should follow all of them. And those of you who are in the channel, you should go follow Red Lear immediately because he's an awesome dude. Also, he's Canadian. So, as I'm sure you would agree, that automatically helps a little bit, just a touch. But no, he's a good dude. And thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. But also thank you to my players. I will let them go for a wonderful session tonight. I will see you folks next month, and I will see Mike at the end of the month in this channel as well. So thank you again to all the players, to the GM, and to my co-host Mike, and I will see you lovely folks soon. Chat, can we get some love for the players? And thanks, players. Good stuff, everybody, and GM.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay. So there we go. That is the deal. So that was awesome. I'm very excited about that announcement from Brandon. Super cool. And yeah, I just was enjoying, watching this sort of unfold. And I was kind of like, can I just get more of, Brandon doing some GMing? I've also played, of course, with Brandon before in a Scum and Villainy campaign. I shouldn't say that. A Scum and Villainy, like 1 to 2 shot, basically, session that we played. And Brandon was great. So I'm like, we should do this. And I contacted him and he's like, we should do this. And so it was great. So super excited. And Gem and the Holograms. I was so thinking of Gem and the Holograms. Oh my God. I was completely thinking of that. I'm like, that's so cool. Anyway, yeah, I just love the pitch. It's amazing. So it's going to be great. So we are going to, first of all, I want to thank again the Speculate listeners. I'm going to say bye-bye to them. If you liked what you heard, Speculate folks, please follow us and please support us on our Patreon so that we can do more stuff of this sort. That is speculatesf.com, and that is Speculate. In fact, I'm going to type it into chat right now. That is also patreon.com/speculate. And we hope that people will jump on board and support us in both those ways. We have some unique episodes that are coming up. There'll be a couple of episodes that only you folks will be able to hear if you support the Patreon, a couple of behind the scenes type of things. So we'll be doing more of that. That makes it possible for us to do more joint events of this sort. So for the Speculate listeners, thank you all very much. You will hear not only more of this, but you will see more of that Star Wars Scum and Villainy thing that I mentioned coming up very soon as well. So thank you so much to all the Speculate listeners, and we will talk soon. Bye for now. And having said that, I will now say as well, thank you to all the Twitch viewers. Great stuff again, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks again, Red Lear, for the raid. I'm sorry that I'm signing off just as you're getting here, but I really appreciate it, man. Again, you're so generous with the raids, and I really do appreciate it, and it really makes a difference, so thank you. But we are going to head off elsewhere, and I'm double checking to see where we're going to go, and I think I know where we might go. I have a couple of possibilities here. Yes. Okay. I think I know where we're going to go. So I know where we're going to raid. Before we do that raid, though, I do want to remind everybody about ways to support us here in the channel. If you haven't done so already, please follow the channel. Check out the YouTube with !ArvTube. Discord is !ArvCord. Twitter is !ArvTweets. You can find all of that on our website, arvanelleron.com. And again, that's where you'll also find the schedule to this campaign as well. And then you've got other things going on as far as the financial stuff. !Arvtreon is that Patreon right over there. That's really the financial backbone of the channel and makes it possible for me to put stuff back into the channel, including commissioning videos and art and different things like that, and music, and also making it possible for me to pick up some of the games when people ask for games to be played, and also makes it possible for me to pay our vocalist, my voice team, and stuff like that. I want to expand my ability to do that, and that only happens as the resources make it possible. So thank you for all those who have supported so far. !Arvtreon for that. !Arvshop is my merchandise area where you can get stuff for the Infinity and Beyond crew, currently playing Curse of Strahd, and where you can get stuff for the Adventures in Middle-earth crew, which is going to be starting a new adventure shortly with Erebor Adventures. I'll talk more about that in just a second. You can find stuff for them too, and soon we will have Esper Genesis stuff there as well. And last but certainly not least, the sub button right above that video window. I saw that Prince Justin resubbed during the stream, so thank you so much, Prince Justin. I appreciate it. And for all of those who have been here and subbed to the channel, you get some of these awesome custom sub badges and emotes and all that kind of good stuff. So thanks a lot for stopping on board with that. If you haven't done so already, please consider doing so. And then last, the publishing stuff for me. Exclamation Point Icarus is my Icarus and Jelinek graphic novels coming out from Athos Arts. Those will be out in late June, early July. Very excited about the art for this. I just can't wait to share it with you. I'm very proud of the way this is coming out. So that's coming out then. Exclamation Point Library is Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library. That is my D&D 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment, already out in PDF, soon to be coming out in print. And Exclamation Point Gray Shade KS is my Gray Shade Kickstarter. That is relating to my series of novels called the Gray Assassin Trilogy. Those will be coming out, as will, in a second revised edition, you might say, as will a board game based on Gray Shade, as will a tabletop RPG based on Gray Shade, for those of you who like the Blades in the Dark feel. There's a little bit of that in that game. And an audiobook coming out from Trend, plus some surprises. So we had hoped to have launched that by now, but then a pandemic hit the world, so we have been delayed, but we will be doing it, and it will just be in a couple of months probably, so we will have more details about that soon. Last, I want to mention the most important thing we've been talking about in the last week or so, and that is Black Lives Matter, exclamation point BLM. You will notice that has now added I've added another link on Brandon's suggestion, which is blackmatters.com/CO, I believe, but you'll see it if you type in exclamation point BLM. That has got a link to the Twitter list and then a link to that second one that Brandon added. And as I told you all, over time, I'm going to be adding things to that link, to that resource link. So I will add some more things as time goes on. So again, you can type in exclamation point BLM for more details about that, because as we've said many times, Black lives do indeed matter. That, however, is going to do it, I think, for today. I will be back tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Eastern with Emberwind as Saad and Marie and Brahms and Saad, Marie, and Brahms and Jen Brozek are going to be joining you with John Helfers as the GM. That'll be happening tomorrow, and that campaign has been doing some serious work, so you'll definitely want to stop by 7 p.m. Eastern for Emberwind. And then Tuesday, I will be back myself with a new adventure for Adventures of Middle-earth as we leave behind Wilderland Adventures, which is now over. We'll have a Fellowship phase, and then we'll move into Erebor Adventures. That will be the next thing that we're moving into for the higher level campaign that is to come, so that's going to be really cool. So that's happening at noon Eastern, and then I'll be over at GOG.com for Pen and Pixels and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Hearts of Stone. That's what we've got going on. I want to thank everyone for being here. Stick around for the raid that we are about to do. The way that we do raids are very simple. If you are not a sub, you're going to do this. The Arvanauts have landed, followed by Twitch raid, lowercase Twitch, uppercase R, lowercase AID. If you are a sub, you're going to do this, which is the Arvanauts have landed, followed by Arvane Hype, ARVANE, all lowercase, uppercase H, lowercase YPE. And then please put in one of these things that Lone Wolf was using before, Arvane Roar, or Arvane What, or Arvane Smug, or Arvane Love, one of these new emotes that Terry did for us. Please consider putting one of those in as well when we get moved over auto-magically to the place that we are going to raid, which I'll do as soon as we're done with our little theme music. I want to thank everyone who made this an awesome stream tonight. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to Nonstop, Lone Wolf 67, Prince Justin, Red Lear, Trisha Metz, and Turbo Tango. Thank you so much to all of those lovely people for subscribing and supporting the channel. Particular thanks to Turbo Tango for being my co-host on Speculate, and particular thanks to Red Lear for the awesome raid that he had at the end there. Thank you so much. Thank you to my wonderful viewers. Another TT viewer, Archangel, Azriel, Blind Dreamer, Buchanan, let's see, Banston Dinfo, Bulgaris, what's up Bulgaris, Bunsen, Commander Root, Drex235, Dropping the Deuce, Duckfi, Electrical Longboard, Full Bake, Gigafrost, Gunsling, nope. Yeah, Gunslingu, I think. Singu. Hillness, who for some reason isn't showing up as a mod, but Hillness is definitely a mod, so thanks, Hillness. Good stuff. Itakix, Jax Kitten, JL2078, JLC629, Kittenbum, Crondewil, Lazo, Light and Passion, Lord and Funcom, Lostkas29, Lurks, Piracy, Picadee Fan, Pro Chillas, Pyro Fisacomp, Let's see. Quad Hiddle Ova, Remistino, Scuba, Steve, Text, Shalome, Signora Muki, Silence Duality, Soul Citizens, Space Clowns, Swift Tropics, The Rising Tides. Thank you so much again, Brandon. U Christensen, V&K, Virgo Praz, West River Rat, Yuzin, and Zybok. Thank you so much to everyone for being here and watching the stream. A special thanks tonight to the wonderful players, to my co-host Mike Underwood, and to the amazing GM Brandon O'Brien for bringing them through yet another session of Blades in the Dark, the Cindered Seal. Can't wait to see where that campaign goes as we rejoin it next month. Otherwise, I will see you folks Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern for Emberwind. Until then, everyone stick around for the raid. Thank you all. Much love, and I will catch all of you wonderful people soon. Until then, everyone be good to each other. Fight for justice. I'll talk to you soon. Night for now.